Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this episode we bring you a masonry steps or stairs repair where the homeowner had a lot of the deterioration onto the steps, and we started by cutting out the damage. I used a diamond blade disc on this DeWalt cutoff saw to cut off the concrete. Make sure you're using protective equipment while you do this, and always spray water on this so that you don't get dust all over the place. Once you cut it all out, just hammer it away, remove it, and continue prepping the area for the repair. Where we cut this out, we're going to put limestone threads on there. In this section, there was a long vertical crack extending all the way from the top of the last step all the way down to the base, and we removed the bricks that were damaged in that area, and now we're prepping the surface by spraying water to get rid of any dust so that we have good bonding. And here we're mixing our mortar, and we mix it just to the right consistency, not too wet, so that we could work with our brick as we place them. And what you want to do is you want to butter up the surfaces of the brick that are going to be in contact with the existing wall. Do not put mortar on the surface that's going to be exposed, because you're going to have a hard time cleaning that off afterwards. So as you can see, we're buttering up the bricks there. And we're going to apply mortar to the mating surface where it's going to be installed. You're going to use the small hand trowel to support the brick as you slide it in place. But you continue working along until you get this whole section built up. I am using the same bricks that we removed. We managed to clean up as much as we could. So we're going to build this whole section, and it's going to look like it was always there. There was a lot of settling on here, and that's why it cracked. But with this repair that we're doing, you won't even notice that there was that much settling going on. I am using a joiner to fill in the spaces where mortar didn't make it through all the way. And we continue that process all the way to the top. Now we move on along to the corner, to the last step, and notice that I started on the top step to build down as I go. That way you could actually step on the lower areas to work and not have to wait for it to set before you can continue. You can see that I'm cleaning as I go, just to keep the area clean. And you continue this process. This is very important here. You want to make sure that every 3 courses of brick do not go beyond 8 inches. That is the maximum height that you want for your steps. You could go lower than that, but not more than 8 inches. That's the building code. We got it now to where the first step is what we're building now. And we'll get to a point where I noticed that I ran out of bricks. I ended up having to go and buy some common bricks. When you get all bricks installed in there, you see you use a straight edge or a level to make sure that all bricks are in line. You don't want bricks pushed in or protruding out from the wall. It has to look nice and straight. Notice that for these particular bricks, I am using quite a bit of mortar in there, and that is because the bricks are hollow on the center, and if you don't put enough mortar in there, they kind of sink on you, and you won't have a good enough joint to get your brick to the level that you need. So yes, I do use a lot of mortar there just to help me set the bricks in place. At this point, we're gonna finish with this last step, and we are going to let the mortar set for a little bit before we start finishing off the joints in between the bricks. You don't want the mortar to be too wet while you're doing this, because it tends to get the bricks a little more dirtier than you want it to. Again, you verify your level and make sure everything is nice and straight. And we'll fill in the back of the bricks, get all the mortar that you have in excess in there, and just fill that up so that you have a solid surface to lay your threads, your limestone threads, when you're ready for that. Now that the mortar has set for a little bit, we are going to use a round joiner and a trowel to push the mortar into the joint. Make sure you fill that joint really good. You're going to do both the verticals and the horizontal with the same method. At this point, you take a moment to like, subscribe, post a comment, a question, and definitely subscribe to the channel so that we can bring you more content like this. Thank you for your support. We're going to let this cure overnight, and we'll be back tomorrow with the installation of the tread stones and the railing system.